So my name is Becky Vanderzee, and I work for Kingdom Causes Bellflower. Our mission is to be a catalyst that connects, mobilizes, and inspires people towards personal and community transformation. Our mission is not to be a homeless service provider. Our mission is to mobilize the community around us. If there wasn't community being part of community around us, we wouldn't be an organization. That community shows up in our volunteers. Our Saturday morning breakfast and showers would not exist if we didn't have committed volunteers. We might provide some organizational support, but the volunteers make that happen. One of the things that a lot of the community helps us with is getting hygiene kits, right? Getting things like water and getting things like Gatorade, different things that Eastside helps us with. So we know that these things in that moment, you need relief, right? You are hungry, let's try and give you something to eat. You are thirsty, let's try and give you something to drink. And oftentimes what these hygiene kits, what these Gatorades, these water bottles, seemingly really small things can do is help further our relationships with our homeless neighbors. If you want to make changes in the lives of people, if you want to show them Jesus, be in a relationship. That's what Kingdom Causes is about. And that's what we want to talk with our community, our volunteers about. We really want anybody that comes in contact with Kingdom Causes to know that they're valued. They're not about a program number, a program statistic so that we can get funding again. It's about that relationship, and that's key. And if anybody knows anything about relationships, you know it takes a while. It's showing up again and showing up again. Even when you get burned, it's showing up again. I just met with a client today, I think we're now at the friend stage because she's no longer a part of any of our official programs. But we were talking about, she was helping us look at our website to say, is this website even helpful for somebody on the street? Help us from your context, right? But she came in today and we were talking about the first time that she came into our office. And she came in because she had heard that we had bus tokens. She needed bus tokens, but she didn't need bus tokens. She came in because she had just lost her partner who got hit by a car while riding his bike. And she was feeling desperate. And she told me today, I didn't know this, but she told me today that she wanted bus tokens to get to the place where she was going to take her life. What happened when she came to get bus tokens was she mentioned something along those lines of, I don't want to live anymore. And I went up there and I sat with her for 2 hours and we talked about that. And we just talked and we just sat there. And she cried, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh man, is this gonna end with hospitalization? What does this look like? God, just let me be present and not be thinking about what has to happen. Let me be present. And we talked for a long time, her and I, and that started a relationship with Kingdom Causes. She is alive today. She has been housed now for 6 years. And she said that her relationship with Kingdom Causes saved her life, not her housing. Talk about being in your most fragile state, but somebody being present. What I realized is what motivates me in my social work profession is that there is nobody that I come in contact with that does not feel loved, that does not feel valued. That leads me into, how do we love our neighbors well? How do we love our homeless neighbors well? It means listening. I think listening is something that we talk a lot about doing more than we actually do. And what does it mean to truly listen? It means to give space for somebody. And when we give space for story, when we give space to not prejudge, to not prescribe a story to somebody, there's life that we give to somebody. That is not just a homeless neighbor. Think about yourself again. You know those relationships where there are listeners in your life, and you know what it means to be heard and to be understood and what that brings you. Same thing with our homeless neighbors. Same things with anybody on the margins. When Kingdom Causes started, it was a group of people that got together and said, how do we love our neighbors well? And so that group got together and said, we have a population of homeless neighbors here. Why don't we get to know our homeless neighbors? So in that process, they developed what they call a homeless task force. And that homeless task force had people making food, And so they went out and delivered food, but sat and ate food with our homeless neighbors. And when they sat and ate food with our homeless neighbors, they started to discover who these homeless neighbors were, what brought them to the place that they're in, and really what their needs are and what their heart's desires are. What I appreciate about Eastside Church is they think little tangible and they think big picture. Eastside has challenged us to think more about community development and what it means to think bigger picture into the future, not just, hey, what can we give you with these water bottles and these Gatorades and these cleaning supplies and this food and all of these things, but what does this look like in the future? How can we do a big picture idea of compassion ministries? We love that partnership and we're so thankful for it.